All right. So welcome all to our first meeting of 2026. There's going to be a lot to discuss tonight that we can answer your questions, I hope, from both the San Jose Police Department and within ourselves, also as a neighborhood association. So thank you all for being here, Lieutenant, Rebecca, and Mr. Cortese's fella.
Stack.
Our agenda up here, we'll start off with Barbara, who has done a fantastic job in our park area. And she also helps with the agenda and coming up with these slides. So thank you very much. We'll start with LPNA Business with Barbara.
Can you rotate your screen?
Yeah.
So that I'm in the picture?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm parasiting on Greg because I converted to Windows 11 and couldn't get into Zoom. So
No.
okay. So the first item on the agenda is the Beautify SJ grant situation. We're just finishing the last year's grant. It ends at March 31st. So we have a few things to wrap up and get done before then. But the bigger issue is that we normally would be expecting to get a new grant, and for the past, basically the entire time of LPNA's existence, the city has given us grants. Initially, they were just grants to cover kind of operating expenses and maybe let you have one event. Then the program was revamped to encourage beautification projects, and that's when it became Beautify SJ. And they increased the amount to $5,000 a year, the maximum amount. This year, the city's budget is, we all know, not looking good. And funds were reduced, available to grant, and there were more neighborhood associations applying because they've been encouraging new groups to organize. The net result is that over 30 groups that had always gotten grants in the past got $0. And unfortunately, LPNA is one of them. So we are looking at a $5,000 gap in our budget for the coming year. So that's pretty significant. Fortunately, we have some money in the bank. We can cover basic operating expenses and maybe some small events that we can handle. And that puts us in a better situation than many of those 30 groups. The big issue will be how we can fund our national night out. We've done a large national night out. We had over 800 people last year, and it cost several $1,000s to do that. So we're going to be looking for new ways to find money. We're going to be looking at our sponsors and looking for new sponsors. We may be trying to see if we can get some individual contributions. We're also looking at sources of other grants, but there's no guarantee that those will come through. So we're going to have to make some serious decisions in the next couple of months.
Barbara,
Why don't you?
They can only see you. I'm going to unspotlight you now. They can't see this. They can see you.
Okay.
Oh, unspot.
Okay. Now, Greg, you wanted to say something about the leadership group.
As chair of the All District Leadership Group in San Jose, which is a collection of neighborhood leaders from all the districts who represent all the neighborhood associations in San Jose, we've written a letter to the mayor and the council people and city manager's office recently telling them that this is a pretty serious effect on neighborhood associations. And we will be having further discussions on them. They said that they have a new process of point system, and for some reason, a lot of neighborhood associations went from being funded to went all the way down to zero, and that's not right in the city of San Jose, the capital of Silicon Valley. We're going to try to make that change and make things different. We're also looking for funding from other sources. That's about it.
Okay. All right. Why don't you swing back to me? All right. The next item under LPNA Business, are they can see?
Yeah, they can see this.
Okay. We are going to tomorrow morning have a, Saturday morning, a neighborhood spring fling mixer on Plimpton Court, which happens to be where Greg lives, and we've invited invited the residents on several surrounding streets to join us, and we've received RSVPs for approaching 30 people, which is a pretty good turnout. And unfortunately, this is being funded under our previous year's grant. We would like to have more of these going forward. We might have to change the format, though, if we don't have grant money, to either find a different sponsor or make them more potluck, as opposed to us supplying at least some of the refreshments. So we're looking forward to that. We think it'll be a good event, and as I said, we would like to in the future have other neighborhoods represented, but it requires somebody who lives in that neighborhood to become involved and be willing to work on the process. All right, the next item is Los Paseos Park activity. So we want you to advance the slide, Greg.
Sure.
The slides are gone.
Yeah, I'm gonna put them up again because the ones that were up there were not the right ones. So let me share.
Oh, okay. We had a last
Barbara,
minute update.
Rebecca asked what time the spring filling is on Saturday.
It's at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Oh, that's
I'm
early.
sorry, no. That's Sunday's event.
I was gonna
No,
say.
like, that's
Sorry,
pretty
noon to-
early.
Noon to 2. Noon to
Okay,
2.
that's more like it.
Sorry, too many events going on. I can't keep track. Okay, so just a quick update on things going on in the park. We had a spring cleanup and planting. We planted 7 new plants. Some are new, and some are replacements. And in the middle pictures, you can see the a few of the new plants, a penstemon.
Oh, it's so silly.
And a couple of little things that I really like. The back one, please.
Oh. Did I go ahead one?
Yeah, back.
Now you're going
There we go. Little sea pinks. That's an experiment. We may be a little too hot for them, but they don't cost much, so we put them in and we see how they go. And then on the far right, pictures of our established plants in their spring flowering glory. So now the next one. Okay. By the notice board, which you can see down in the lower left corner, that was as it was last fall. We had planned to make plantings around it, and so we did some experimenting this spring. We planted some bulbs because we don't have any irrigation there, so they've got whatever we plant has to survive with minimal water, and the bulbs are regenerated by the winter rains. So the bulbs have done well.
Sorry.
I'm encouraged by them. They did make it through the weed cloth and through the mulch, so that's good. We also planted some succulents, and that's over on the right-hand side. We planted 3 of them. I'm just showing you one here at the top. And unfortunately, a couple of them were pretty juicy succulents, and I think something ate them.
In the bottom, the bottom picture.
No, the bottom picture is a different thing.
Oh, okay.
The middle picture is the stub left after I think some animal
Mhm.
basically ate the juicy leaves probably to get at the moisture.
Mm.
The bottom picture is the sad one, and that's where somebody took a tool and very carefully dug out the plant that we planted and took it home.
Oh my gosh.
So what you're seeing there is a blank hole where there used to be a plant.
Wow.
So we're going to have to rethink what we do with the succulents. We'll probably plant some different kinds. I may look for things that might not be as attractive to the gophers and ground squirrels and rats
People.
and
People.
whatever. You know, one of my thoughts was, oh, I'll plant some really prickly things, but it's too close to the playground, and with kids around, that's, you know, really prickly is not an option. So we'll try again, but probably not until next fall.
Okay.
And next slide. Okay, we are going to, we've been talking about a new garden in this circle near the tennis courts with the unusual structure, which turns out to apparently have been something to do with the native people who used to live in this area. So we're Jen Holst is heading this project, and she's trying to find out more information about that. She thinks it was intended to be a gateway, and we may try to do that as we do the new garden. But we're going to be having on Sunday at 9 o'clock, we're going to have our groundbreaking, where we're going to be doing the first digging to take out the plants that are under the, if you see them at the base of that wooden structure, there's a bunch of plants that have been there basically forever. And we're going to dig them up, and ultimately they'll be replaced. The original plan had been for a rose garden, but the Parks Department has changed their attitude toward garden planting, and they no longer recommend planting roses because of the excessive maintenance requirements that they have and the amount of water that they consume. So they want only native plants planted. So the garden will be primarily, if not completely, native plants. And but first we have to get rid of the plants that are there, and then we have to go through a laying cardboard and mulching process, and we're just gearing up to get that going as soon as possible. And then plant the main planting probably won't be until fall, but we'll plant some plants now just to test and see how they do and see what's happy where within the circle. The sun and shade are different on different parts of the circle. So when I planted the original native plant garden, we did some test plants, and that turned out to have been a good idea. So we'll do the same thing with this garden. And that's the end of the park update. Does anybody have any questions about the park? If anybody's interested in volunteering to help with the new project, they can contact Jen Holst, or they can contact me at gardener at LosPaseosNeighbors.com. And it's going to be fun.
Yeah. Thank you, Barbara, for everything you've done over there in that park with the native plant garden, and continuing to help Jen with this one. By the way, if you guys want to see a beautiful native plant garden, go to Kirk Park off of Foxworthy Avenue. It's a very long, very well done native plant garden also. We visited it the other day.
Should go back to the agenda.
Okay, let's try to get the agenda going here again.
Do we really need the agenda up?
No.
Because we're gonna actually want to focus on I think
Yeah.
the police update is next.
Yeah, we don't need an agenda up there now.
And that was Lieutenant Thomas. So Lieutenant Thomas, you have the floor.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for having me. I'm Lieutenant Thompson, and I'm here on behalf of Captain Payne this evening. Just a little bit about me. I've been with the department for over 24 years. and I'm currently the swing shift Southern Division watch commander. So I work swing shift, and I work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturdays. There's another Lieutenant Kilmer, who covers the other side of the week for swing shift. The statistics for tonight, they're for the last 90 days. So it's from December 17th until March 17th. And there were 0 homicides. There were 0 sexual assaults. There were 2 aggravated assaults. One of those was a domestic violence incident. There were no robberies, and there were 2 commercial burglaries, no residential burglaries, and no vehicle burglaries that were reported. And for that time frame, there's no accidents with any injuries. So those were the statistics. Does anybody have any questions? I know you wanted a little bit about the redistricting, but before I got to that, were there any questions?
I have a question, Lieutenant.
Yes.
The emergency interim housing that is surrounding this area, the ones on Rue Ferrari, Burnell Road, and the newer ones.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you can say this at all, but is there any impact that they're having on neighborhoods around the area that you know about from the people that live there? Maybe that's a crazy question, but if you can't answer it, that's fine.
I mean, I'm not aware of anything specifically. If we wanted to try and get any statistics like that, would probably refer to Captain Payne to see if he could look up anything that would be related to that. And then I would ask him, and then I would be specific for, are you talking about calls for service that happen on the property there, or things that are in the neighborhoods that may be a result of someone who's staying there?
Yes, the second one.
Yeah, so I would ask, maybe ask Captain Payne for those statistics.
Okay.
I don't have those statistics right now. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we're tracking those.
Yeah. I know the fire department gets called quite often. I talked to them, Fire Station 27.
Yes.
All
And
right.
I don't want to speak for them. I'm not sure if they're getting called for that location specifically, or if it's in the neighborhoods, or maybe like in some of the shopping centers, as a result of that.
Yeah. And you know about our new no soliciting signs at Burnell and Santa Teresa and Burnell and San Ignacio. I don't know if you know about those or not.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. Captain Payne didn't have any statistics on those. I think, like anything when it's new, I think that there's some training issues with the officers and just informing them of those signs.
Okay.
So I believe he told me that they have started to issue some citations as a result of that, but he didn't have the numbers.
Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen a couple of them in action. So thanks a lot for helping with that one. Herb Bowen has his hand raised.
Lieutenant, we sent a note about the bathroom burning properties. I know, we had some toilet paper and stuff burned in there. Steve said he was going to have people go by just to make sure after they torch the Ramac Park. If you guys can just do drive-bys or something, we're going to try to find this firebug before he burns ours.
Yeah, he's aware of that. He does have people going by there. I think at this point I think arson, which the fire department investigates the arsons. I think they're trying to determine I believe it was toilet paper burned on that. And so I'm not sure what the circumstances were, whether somebody was intentionally trying to burn or start a fire, or I don't have any details on that. But
they did it twice. They did it twice. So that means somebody wants to do something there. So
yeah.
Anyway.
So the fire department is conducting a potential arson investigation on that.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Herb. Oops.
I had a question.
Uh-huh.
I noticed recently as I'm driving down Santa Teresa, kind of more away from our neighborhood, but there's all the businesses along the right side of Santa Teresa, say as you're going towards Oak Grove School District office or towards Cottle, it's There's always a lot of graffiti on the business signs now. Have you heard anything about that?
I haven't heard anything. So you're talking about it as you would go uh
Between Bernal and Great Oaks
North, going
specifically.
north on
going north,
Santa
correct?
Yeah.
Teresa.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't personally seen any upticks or heard anything about that. Um, we do send people out there for foot patrol. I can make them aware of that. And then if you do see things like that, you can use the 311 app. They're pretty responsive about coming out and cleaning up graffiti.
I would hope the businesses are doing that because they're literally their business signs. The huge cement signs are getting tagged. So
Yeah, and the
I
businesses may be doing that. I'm not sure, but if you see that, if you report that on the
Okay.
311 app, and you take a picture of it and you send that in,
okay.
they will come in and clean it out. You don't clean it up. You don't have to wait for the business, whether because I don't know if they're reporting that or not.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, actually, I heard you were talking about possible arson in the Los Paseos Park restroom. So I did notice something about 2 days ago in the
Uh-huh.
men's restroom in the regular restroom. There was the toilet paper seat covers were like all on the floor around the toilet. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I didn't see any evidence of fire. It was just, I thought it was kind of weird. But and also I did not call it in on 311.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it was a kind of a strange thing because I've never seen that. I usually go walking on a daily basis, and that was the first time I've seen that.
It happens frequently, Wyman.
Okay, yeah, then maybe I'm just there not at the right time.
Yeah.
When we had the two fire incidences, they had lit all of the toilet paper rolls as well as the seat covers and the soap dispenser.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I didn't, I think I'm almost there like on a daily basis, not always at the same time.
We've
And,
notified the Parks Department about that also, and the police department.
Okay.
And I think Melanie knows too. So let's just work with
Yes.
Parks and keep PD out until it gets worse.
Okay. All right.
So I think that's all the questions, and maybe you can just talk a little bit about the redistricting, just to give people a basic understanding of kind of what's happening.
Yeah, so right now the city is broken up into four divisions. That's Foothill, Southern, and Central, and we have the four divisions. Obviously, this one being in Southern, where you're at, and so that's going to stay the same. They're going to keep the four divisions. Nothing as far as the divisions and what they're called are going to be changed. But they are going to be, right now we have 16 districts within those divisions. Right now there's four divisions and there's four districts in each division. And so that is going to reduce from 16 to 12 districts. And then there will be three divisions within each one instead of four now. So there'll be three in Southern and three in all the adjoining ones. It's anticipated that will roll out in November. I know that they're still working on that. There's a lot of working parts to that. I'm not in any of those meetings for the redistricting. I believe that Captain Payne is. I know they have a meeting coming up here. I think it's like April 2nd or 3rd. And I'm sure that Captain Payne will have more information after that to be able to provide for you. But just roughly what's happening is it's reducing from 16 to 12. And then so some of the borders are changing, but I don't have any of that information. I don't know that that's been finalized yet.
Yes, we'll be having some further discussions with the captain on this, and maybe have I'm sure he's going to be having town hall type meetings on it.
Yeah, we're having some town hall meetings, and I know there's a bigger meeting for the rollout Like I said, I believe it's on the 2nd or 3rd of April, because we have to make sure that our mapping system is correct, that our radio channels are correct, at least for us. And then there's a lot of little things like just our scheduling and where we place officers. That software has to be updated, and so they're trying to work with everyone to make sure that they can get it completed by November.
Yeah.
And like I said, there is a bigger meeting in a couple weeks, and Captain Payne attends those meetings.
I heard one positive thing about it is that they'll be using GPS to get the police officer that's closest to the problem spot faster than the guy that might be a little bit further away, but in the right district. So they're going to be able to quickly get to things faster. That's what I heard.
Yeah, and the purpose of the redistricting is because it's been years since they've done it. Is they did a study and figured out where most of the calls are happening, and so they're moving the district lines so that some areas that were busier may get smaller, and some areas that were slower may get a little bigger in anticipation of being able to get units there quicker.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, thank you for that update.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So the next, any questions on the redistricting before we move on? Oh, okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you for
Thank you.
joining
Yeah.
our meeting. We really
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you for
showing
having me.
us
I appreciate what all of the work that you that you put in and everything that you guys do, and thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the next item on the agenda is we're going to have School Board Trustee Rebecca Munson talk about critical issues facing Morgan Hill Unified School District. So Rebecca, we'll let you take the floor. And Greg, are you going to spotlight her?
Yes.
He knew to just spotlight me. No, but that's okay. So I wanted to.
Is it spotlighted, Karen? Is it okay?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Okay. Well, anyway, thank you for having me. Let me just say that I really, really appreciate you giving me the time to come. I've tried to attend a few other meetings but scheduling conflicts, I haven't been able to come. So thank you for inviting me. And critical issues, I have some critical issues and just some updates. Probably the biggest critical issue is our budget, the Morgan Hill Unified School District budget. It is still not operating at I want to say break-even point. We're still running at a deficit and using our reserves to be able to cover that. And so, we've been working towards balancing that. This upcoming year, we're going to have to be cutting $2 million. We've already cut some in the budget or just not refilled positions and that kind of thing. And then the upcoming year cut 2 million, and then in the next year after that, that's the 27-28 school year, another 2 million to try to help balance that budget. So that's probably the biggest critical issue. But just some things that maybe you might want to know. We are in the process of getting feedback from the community, teachers, parents, students on our LCAP. And the LCAP is the Local Control Accountability Plan process. And with that feedback from the community and students and everything, that helps guide and direct how some of the funds for the budget are used. So if you are worried about what they're doing, or if you want to give feedback, I would go to the Morgan Hill Unified School District website and take that survey, because you are community members. We live in that district right there in Brunel, right? So you can give your feedback. And then I just wanted to just focus too. I'm not sure if you guys know that the district has really implemented in the last few years a CTE program. And that CTE program is career and technical education pathways. And so not every student is destined for college. Some kids just, don't want to take that route or that path. This gives them another opportunity to succeed and find what they're good at. And so the CTEs, those are like, a plummet, like a trade. And I really wish, let me just say, I really wish they had this when my son was going to school there. Because I pushed him to go to college, and one semester before he graduated, he said, I don't want to do this anymore. So if I would have just got him on the path of that technical career, he would have been fine, because he'd always like, I want to be a plumber, I want to, do all this. Anyway, so I'm just glad that we're offering those expanded opportunities for kids, because again, all kids aren't made the same. And then just ongoing professional development for teachers and staff to be able to effectively teach the strategies to the students. And then they're really focusing in on math and their P3. I'm not sure if you guys have any kids that go to Las Paseos, but they're kind of spearheading that to be able to kind of focus in, because the test scores are not the best. That's one of the reasons why I ran and their budget. But so they're focusing on that math and learning and strategy and applying technical, or not technical, but like hands-on learning for that. And so yeah, that's kind of the highlights. I mean, there's some other things going on, but those are like the big highlights. And does anybody have any questions on that?
I do.
Okay, yes, Karen.
So I'm just curious, is any of the budget issues, is it federal? Is it anything to do with the federal cuts and stuff, or is it just kind of more normal budget issues?
Yeah, it's not necessarily the federal, because our budget is about, I want to say, not quite a third of the federal, but they haven't really cut funding to education too much.
Okay.
They haven't restricted it like they've restricted to like county and other things, right? Or cities. And so I think it's just more, we need to be more efficient and effective. And when I say we, it's not necessarily me and the other board members, it's our superintendent. And so holding our superintendent accountable for the decisions that she's making, and just steering her in the right direction, to do the right things. So, yeah.
Okay. I also have another question. This is, I guess, more of a, a personal kind of take. So I heard at the beginning of the meeting before we started, you'd mentioned that you have experience in Oak Grove School District.
Oh, I
but
worked
you're
at,
but you're a trustee in Morgan Hill, and I would just love to hear how they compare, and are there vast differences, or pretty much same old, or I'm just curious. Like,
I wouldn't say same old. I mean, every district, has the focus of the kids, right? I mean, that is the focus. I think Oak Grove is doing what they can do to raise test scores, get behind teachers, programs, curriculum, and so is Morgan Hill. It's just a matter of like how they do that, or what priority they make. I mean, curriculum, I know. And okay, so I'm just gonna tell you, put down the blit. So because I've been working in Oak Grove for 14 years, and we've always been kind of like a step ahead. With the closing of schools. I'm sure you heard San Jose Unified has to close schools. We've already went through that process in the Oak Grove School District. We've already closed 2 schools. And then, having budget issues, we've already had to write our budget. We've already, so like, I feel like my district's always been a step ahead of everybody else. And then here comes everybody else going, oh my gosh, we have to do this and this and this, kind of thing. So I'm not saying we're all like totally awesome, but we kind of are, in the sense that like, we're getting there and we're doing the work. And so and again, that's why I really wanted to run, is because I had that experience, and I wanted Morgan Hill to be awesome and great and amazing too, and so I think we're heading in that direction, and they're looking at the things that they need to look at, and I think they're going to be doing like Oak Grove just did some curriculum adoptions. Well, I know Morgan Hill is going to be looking at some curriculum adoptions because you have to kind of see what is working and what's not working. And so, I mean, we're all at different places. I really can't say like better, worse, whatever. We're just trying to figure it out what's going to work for the kids, what's going to increase their test scores. What is, you know, so I think Morgan Hill is making some changes and trying to get in the upward motion.
Okay, thank you. I
You're
was just
welcome.
curious. It sounded intriguing when I heard that. I was like, wow, must be an interesting experience.
Yeah, and I think I get to bring a lot of like what I do on a daily basis to Morgan Hill, you know?
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, just recently, I mean, so I don't know if you guys, I'm just talking now, but I don't know if you know how we collect money. It's ADA. So it's basically every time a student comes to school, we get paid on that. If they don't come to school, we don't get paid. It's basic aid. And so they changed the law now that if a student is gone, so and you got an education, so I have to try to like, okay, back up. If a student is gone 5 days or more, they can do something called independent studies. I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with that. And then we get to recoup the district, whichever district, they get to recoup the money. Well, they never had any leeway for if you're gone 1 day, 2 days, you know, it had to be that week or more. Well, they recently changed the law. And so my district was like, we're going to jump on this. We're going to recover our money because, I mean, we can recover a lot, like $1 million, 1% of absenteeism. If we recover that is $1 million. So anyway, Oak Grove was like, we're going to get on this. Let's, you know, so they implemented a little program and that kind of thing. Well, Morgan Hill wasn't doing that. And I'm like, why are we not doing this? And I, you know, so I kept bringing it up. And so finally the superintendent's like, oh, let me look into that. I'm like, okay, you know, so those are kind of things that I'm kind of, well, never mind. I'm trying to make a difference. I'm trying to bring what I know and what I live to, you know, Morgan Hill and try to help in any way that I can, you know.
Thank you for doing
So
it.
anyway, Greg, I'm sorry. I see your hand up.
Go ahead. Barbara's
Yeah,
got a
Greg
question.
and I both have questions, but my question I think is a quick one. I understand that in some of the school districts, part of the budget issue is declining enrollment. What is the situation with enrollment in Morgan Hill?
You know what? Then that is true, right? The declining enrollment is definitely a big issue, and that's kind of part of the deficit. But in Morgan Hill, they have a lot of growth right now. They have a lot of housing being built. And so their declinement isn't as it's not a huge shift or change as it is in other districts. So that hasn't been a huge impact, like it has in other districts.
Okay.
So they're not losing as many or even a lot. It's really minute.
Okay, thank you.
And I have a question also.
Mhm.
Regarding, you mentioned the test scores are, you kind of shrugged your shoulders and said they're not the best they could be.
No.
So, and I've heard inputs from some of the neighbors in Los Paseos that they're very concerned about the test scores and almost to the point of saying they'd like to move out of the area into a place that has higher test scores. So tell me how that's rectified and what's being done to help the kids. I guess it's the kids need the help too, right? So what's going on there?
Well, it's a whole, I mean, we all work together. It's a whole system. It's not just one, it's not just the kids, it's not just the teachers, it's not, you know, it's everybody. We need to look at curriculum. We need to look at, you know, the same old thing isn't working. Whatever's been done up to this point isn't working. So we need to look at curriculum. We need to look at professional development. We need to look at how are these kids learning now than how they were before. So all of that needs to work together. And I think the district is definitely getting behind that and trying to find strategies and different things. And I know the test scores have gone up. I mean, are they going to shoot up, you know, 20 points. No. I mean,
Gradual.
yeah, exactly. It is a gradual
How,
increase.
how do we keep up with what's the progress of that
Oh,
that
you know
work?
what?
And
There
then what,
is
is there a site?
Yes, there is. It is. And you know what? I'm blanking at this particular moment, but I can get that for you. It's actually it's an accountability
Okay, you could let me know.
website, and it tells all this test scores. You can go to any school, any district, here, wherever. It tells you all of the test scores for the different populations and stuff like that. And I'm so sorry, but I'm just
That's
blanking on
okay.
the name of it right now.
My question was, how do we keep track of what Morgan Hills Union School District is doing to upgrade the scores?
Oh, how do we keep track? Well, definitely you need to
How does we as a neighbor, like a resident here?
come to the board meetings,
Yeah,
ask questions.
okay.
Um, so I mean, they don't make it super public. It's not like they're writing out their whole plan. Except for the local control accountability, that basically is a plan of how they're going to increase. So you can look at their local control accountability, their
Okay.
LCAP, they call it LCAP,
Right.
plan, and then also give feedback. And that's kind of another thing. Like, okay, if you want to see more focus in this, go ahead and you know,
Okay.
yeah, I'm sorry, I just saw another
Can
hand
you
pop up.
send that information to me later?
Yes. Let me
Okay.
let me make a note. Is it that you want to know the website or you want to know the LCAP?
The LCAP, the things you just discussed, how we can keep up to date with things like go to meetings and of that kind of thing.
Okay.
And
Yeah, Jen, before you go, is it the SARC? Is that what it's called? The School
SARC?
Accountability. There's something called the School Accountability Report Card, California Department of Education. Is that
Yes. Yes,
okay?
that's the one.
Let
And
me
it has like a little
yeah, let me put a link in the chat
Oh,
and
thank you. That would be fabulous. Thank you so much.
all right,
okay.
thanks, Karen.
Yeah. Awesome. I think Jennifer, you have a question?
Sorry, I had to unmute. I think phones have always been an issue, and I'm wondering if they're just going to do away with phones. Because, man, that would be great.
You know what?
I think that would solve a big problem if they have to come into the classroom and put it in those bags
Yeah.
that don't, have anything on camera.
I know some teachers do that, like high school. In the high school, they have like
I
little
think-
pockets and
Yeah, I think every school level should have it. Junior high, big time, because they're not even anywhere mature
Yeah.
enough to have phones, but they do, and I think that that's probably a big issue with a lot of
Yes.
the teachers. I mean, they're so busy policing the kids, they don't even get a chance to run their class.
Yeah, and you know what? We actually, the Morgan Hill School District is looking into their cell phone technology policy. And so
Okay.
they established a committee, and so they're gathering that data so that they can come out with that policy and hopefully strengthen it. And yes, I mean, technology not so good for their brains.
Well,
Yeah.
and I mean, to that point, the fact that, I mean, I would love to go back to everything paper, which we'll never do, but I think our kids learn better.
They do.
Because with
It's
the,
tested.
yeah, with the computers, they don't even have, I mean, they're online doing other stuff.
Yes.
And again, our
Mhm.
teachers are becoming police
They
versus
do.
teachers.
I know. I'm a teacher, so I totally get it. I know. I mean, we do have programs that monitor, like if the kids are online, it's kind of, they Go Guardian, and they have some other ones that they use that they can see what the kids are doing. They can limit the access to YouTube and different sites and stuff like that. So, I mean, they do have some support, but I get it. It's not, but it's also research based that there's something that happens when the kids write. It's something that happens with connectivity with their brain and with their hand instead of typing and stuff like that. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
That was my 10 cents. Okay, I'm out.
Okay. So I don't see any more hand. Oh, I do. Herb Brown. Oh, Bowen. Sorry, Bowen.
Thank you. You know a teacher if they can pronounce your name. We have a problem with the district leasing out the field, and the people using it put a lot of garbage in there, overflow it. And
Mm,
I've talked to Ricky about it before, and I've had Brian Schultz talk to him also. But if these guys are going to lease the field, they need to pick up their own garbage. And I mean, they overflow
yes.
the cans, and then we got pest problems. So if he could, maybe put some garbage cans out there in the field and they pick them up, that'd be appreciated. Because I mean, we've seen them all over the place because people use them, and they're
Yeah.
big crowds over there. So if you could remind him again, that'd be
Yeah.
appreciated.
Oh, yeah.
Because
They need
No.
to,
summer's coming.
they need to stop parking on the park lawn as well.
They're parking on the park line?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's not good.
Ridiculous.
Okay.
On
Okay.
the Santa Teresa side.
When there's an event, like on a Saturday event, the cars
Uh-huh.
park all over the grass.
Ah. Okay. Well, I'm making notes. Okay. Well, thank you for that feedback. I mean, I live here and I never noticed that they park on the grass. That's not okay.
Well, it's generally when there's a soccer meet or something,
Hmm.
yeah, and I think it's usually on the weekends.
Okay.
It got
And we
really,
also had food trucks also. They brought food trucks in too and do that. So yeah, I mentioned this to Ricky before, and Brian Schultz, our park managers, talked to him also.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you for bringing it to my attention. If there's no more questions, I just had one final kind of message that I wanted to leave you with. And since a lot of you already know I'm a teacher, I've been teaching for 14 years. I'm also, school board member. But through that has given me really deep passion for students and for families and the community that I live in and that I work in. And being a lifelong resident here in Los Paseos, I've seen the change that the community has gone through, and I've seen when it thrives, when we invest in education and safety and opportunities for everyone. And so, because of all of that, I'm actually running for the Santa Clara County Supervisor of District 1. This opportunity came up. I know I just got elected to the school board, but this seat came open, and so I want to bring our voice, South County. So not just South San Jose, but also Morgan Hill and Gilroy. I think we get forgotten a lot out here, because we're way south of everything else that's happening. And so I want to bring that voice to the county level. And so I'm just letting you guys know the election will be in June, and I'm not advocating. I'm just letting you guys know because I know this is not you guys do not endorse or anything like that, and that's not what this is. I just wanted to kind of inform you guys of what was happening. I do have a website if you wanted to read more, but Rebecca Munson, D1.com. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
thank you very much.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for all that great information on the school district. And yeah, so that site I'm not sure it was the best site. So maybe you can follow up with Greg and get a different site and we could include it in our newsletter or something.
I'll look at it right now and see if
Okay.
maybe I can post something in there.
Okay.
Okay.
So do we have anybody from the District 10 office on the call today?
No.
Not that I see.
Oh, we don't. Okay, that's too bad. So I guess we're not getting an update from the District 10 office. So is there
Zach is on. Zach is on.
Zach is with Senator Cortese's
Oh,
office.
oh, that's
Zach,
right.
if you
Okay,
want
that's
to
my
take
Zach.
but
Let him
Zach,
do it.
we'll open the floor to you if you have any kind of updates. You don't have to, but if you have anything you want to tell us on the Senate level, you're welcome to talk. Is it
Yeah,
Senator?
that's great. Sorry, I'm on my phone right now because we
Okay.
just got a puppy, so I've been in and out with the puppy, of course. But I guess just to continue, obviously we're still sort of new into the legislative year. The bill introduction deadline was just a few weeks ago, and so everything's still sort of kicking off in terms of the bills that are getting that have been introduced and working their way through the system. The senator is really, I think, leaning into his transportation. As transportation chair, is really leaning into that transportation background and trying to bring more accountability to high-speed rail. He is a supporter of the project, but wants to make sure that there's a lot of transparency and accountability with how the money's being spent on that project, and as well as things like wildlife crossings and making it easier to build EV charging at multifamily residential areas. And I guess to keep it on the education topic, one thing that he introduced last year, and I know that he's exploring how to best pursue it this year in this legislative session. And so I don't have a major update in terms of its progress because he's trying to, let me explain the bill first, then I'll go back to that. It's an education equalization of funding bill, which speaking of our basic aid schools, is trying to create a funding process where in years of budget surplus, money gets automatically designated from the general fund into pretty much, I'm trying to think of the word, a pot, and that money gets spread out to and distributed to basic aid schools to try and boost their funding levels closer to some of the maybe more wealthier school district counterparts around the state. And he's, like I said, he introduced it as a bill last year. And this year is kind of exploring whether to make it more of a constitutional requirement, similar to like a Prop 98, or keep it as a bill moving forward. And so that's still a little stalled out, but I believe he's pursuing how to keep that moving this year because it's something he really believes in, trying to boost the funding for our basic aid schools without really, in that case, since it'd be in surplus years, it wouldn't have to, create new taxes, or he doesn't believe it has to be a zero-sum game where we take away from the other school districts that have a higher funding level right now. So I'll keep it there. And as always feel free to reach out to our office. We're always here to help. And so yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And we appreciate,
yeah.
sorry, we appreciate what he's doing in that regard for the districts.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. So I think, is there any other business that we need to talk about other than our next meeting, which will be June 18th? Maybe we'll have the redistricting presentation by then or some other interesting topic. Is there anything else we need to talk about?
Herb has the hand raised.
Herb?
Well, I have my hand up. I just want to let everybody know the cement has been fixed all the way up Paseo 1. All the cracks and busted stuff. I finally got the inspector to come out and found out all the were fixed. So that's a great news for us. We won't be falling on that, at least Paseos 1. And then we're working on trying to get some benches there for our seniors so they can walk down there and take a break. Next step.
And once again, I'll put out another plug. Apparently, there's volunteer needs in the garden on Sunday at 9, which I don't know why we didn't put that in our newsletter.
Did you guys want an update on that? Because-
Yeah, well, I think Barbara did, but
Okay.
Well, but Jen may have more current
Okay,
information
go
than I
ahead.
have. We haven't talked today.
yeah, go ahead, Jen.
Did you tell, we've got about 25 cubic feet or meters, depending on how you look at it, of mulch that was delivered. So it's sitting there ready to be put over onto the circle. And it's not nearly enough. We need about 110 to really cover it sufficiently, but that's okay. It gives us a good start. I'm going to go, for lack of a better term, dumpster diving to Costco's tomorrow to pick up cardboard for it. And we're trying to gather a lot of volunteers to come out more now, since we actually have more things now, but more volunteers to come to the park so that they can help us remove the plants that exist, cover with the cardboard and throw down the mulch. And that's all on Sunday from 8 to 10 a.m. And then we got to figure out what plants we're going to put in, only in that it's a really bad time to plant. So we're going to try to figure out a few plants that will actually work, maybe have a chance. If not, we're calling them the test plants, right, Barbara? These are our test plants.
And when I started the native plant garden, I did a test planting of 4 plants in April. And it worked. They probably needed a little more attention, a little more watering than they would have if they'd been established in the fall. But it'll give us an idea, a little idea of what thrives and doesn't before we commit to the big planting.
So that's the quick update on that front.
Great.
And that's all I really have to say about that, unless anybody else has any other questions in that regard. No? Excellent. I did have another question. I might have missed this, but it's been brought up to me by a few people. Did you guys speak about the, I don't know if we're calling it a battery plant or battery storage area on Santa Teresa and
Bailey.
We didn't
and
talk
Bailey?
about that.
Yeah. If not, I think that's a big subject matter that we should be talking about. Because
Yeah, I
don't know
think
how you
we
have that
had
and
we
preserve
had
Coyote Valley.
yeah, we had Alice Kaufman come on a few of the last meeting, and yeah, she did an update, and then we've gotten newsletters to write letters and stuff, but
Was
we
it
did not
Mary
get an
supposed?
update.
Was it Mary supposed to be here to talk about that?
She couldn't make it.
Oh, Mary.
Mary Patterson.
Okay, why? Is she a new position now?
No, she's just
She's on the committee to,
on the committee.
yeah.
What committee?
I think
she's
it's
involved with the Open Space Authority.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what I was saying.
Alice. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, that would have been nice to have an update, but
We'll get
did
that
not.
going. We'll keep
Yeah.
it up and keep our
Okay.
members informed.
Awesome.
I have 2 more items. This weekend, we have a safety preparedness fair at Mount Pleasant High School from 11 to 1. We'll be doing the whole thing like our workshops, but a little bit more. We're having guest speakers, Red Cross, fire, different people are going to be there. If you're interested, it's at Mount Pleasant High School this weekend, 11 to 1 or 2. Also, we have the following week on the 28th, we have the 5K run that CERT and the D10 office is doing. Do you want to say anything about that, Wyman, or you want me to finish?
You can finish. I mean, Alan has already posted it on the Los Paseos Facebook page. And so go ahead.
So yeah, I mean, it's a good time for you to get out and meet people. We'll have tabling, and it's a 5K fun run. Something the district wanted to do and get people together. So you're more welcome just to come. You don't have to run, but that's available to people. And I think that starts what time? 8:30 on Saturday when they start running.
It's from 8 to 12 at Los Paseos Park on the Almaden Expressway side. It's a combination 5K and safety fair. The public can start coming in at 8. There is free parking, so the D10 guy who is not here should have told you that you will get free parking passes to park there. The 5K.
You want to restate the park? You
Yeah,
said Los Paseos Park, and
oh,
you're not
yeah,
wanting
you
to.
said Los
Lake
Paseos,
Almaden
guy.
Park, sorry.
Yeah.
Lake Almaden Park on the Almaden Expressway side. So it starts at 8 to 12. The 5K starts at 8:30. So usually the fast runners will finish in about a half an hour to 45 minutes, but I think they're going to wait until 10 o'clock for the rest of the runners. So separately, we're going to have for people to have a radio exercise. If you're interested, you can send me an email. I'll post my email on the chat. Let me see if I can figure out how to do that. So CERT 5K volunteers email Wyman.
All right.
Okay, so you can email if you have any questions. It's also on the Los Paseos Facebook page. And it's also on the D10 website page.
Yeah.
It was also in the email that went out to our email list.
Okay, that's good too.
I think
Twice, yeah.
Rebecca has her hand raised.
Yes, I just had one last thing I wanted to mention too about the battery storage plant that's coming. I'm also working with the district on that to come out against that. I don't think it's safe for our kids. It's right across the street from a school. And so we're trying to work with the charter school of Morgan Hill and the Morgan Hill Unified School District to come out against that. So I just want to let you know that I'm also working on that on my end.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is there anything else?
Yeah, I have a question on the attendees here. Appreciate you all being here, but Susan, where do you live? Susan Fisher? Hi. Can you
May have
unmute
stepped
me?
away, maybe?
I'm just curious where you live in the neighborhood, if you live in the neighborhood.
She's attended our meetings before, so
Yeah, she may
Yeah,
she
I
may have
know.
stepped away
I
or
just
something.
yeah, she might have stepped
Or
away.
not, or prefer not to answer that question.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
She's not connected. Oh, yes, she is. She's muted and no video.
All right. I was just curious. All right. Karen, I think we're
Okay, I think that's
I'll
it. That's
unmute.
it.
You asked me where I live. I live on the corner of Chantilly and Santa Teresa Boulevard.
Oh,
oh wow. Which
Okay.
house? The one going out of Chantilly. Oh, okay.
Chantilly and Santa Teresa, so the townhouse.
Okay. Great.
So,
Thank you for
and thank you for always letting me attend your meetings. They're always very interesting.
We're happy to have you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Suzanne, I think I met you before when I was canvassing.
Yes, Rebecca.
Yeah,
you did.
I remember you. You were
I
so
let
sweet
you-
to me.
I let you in and we had a very nice conversation.
Yes, we did. Thank
So
you.
I'm glad to see you being so successful.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. You were just adorable. So thank you.
all right.
Okay, I think it's a wrap, you guys, and thanks for everybody who attended, and yeah, we'll see you next
And
time.